Hi, we're at Williams Beach Trails, and we have a map that we've loaded before we got here, which is a good idea just in case you haven't got self-service. The other advice I would give you is when you're using your maps, remember to set your phone onto airplane mode because that saves a lot of battery power with Avenza, and you'll get a lot further on your map tracking. So I'm showing you my phone now. You can see the map that I'm on. This is how you use your fingers to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, and if I want to know where I am, down in this bottom left-hand corner, you see a little directional arrow. It'll be similar on an iPhone. The symbol might be a little bit different, but they're always in the same place. So I'm just going to click that, and you'll see that I all of a sudden zoomed over to this P, and you'll see I've got a blue circle. So when I start to walk, what's going to happen is that blue circle is going to follow me along as I go. Okay, so I'm going to go a little while up here, and I'll start the video again when I get up to an intersection. So here we are, we're still on the trail. We've come up now and we're at an intersection, and the trail goes 4 different ways. So you can still see my blue marker is there. Again, I can zoom in if I want by spreading my fingers. Whoops. Spreading my fingers. I can move the map down. Okay. Notice that crosshairs that's on my map. What that is if I put in a place marker, that's where it would appear. But yes, so I'm on that blue circle. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually change, because the map right now is oriented to the north. If I want it to map or orient itself to the direction I'm pointing, the selection arrow I got to get my blue dot working, I hit it again and it goes straight up like that. You'll notice it gets a bit shaky, and that's because it's actually now locating the direction I'm going. So now if I move around, it's actually going to change. So it's going to help me to orient myself if I've got 3 or 4 trails. I don't have to ride down them to find out which direction I'm going. So that's just a hint there. So you change that back to orient to north by hitting it again. Right, now I'm oriented north. Now the other things on the screen here, that's my latitude, longitude measurements there. This second item is a pin. So if I want to mark this for some reason, I can click on that and I put down what name I want to give it. Just get rid of that one, and I'm going to call it intersection. Okay. I can change the symbol if I want. I could put photos on it. I can do descriptions, all those kind of things, like time, location. But right now I'm just going to leave it at intersection, and I'm going to add that place mark, and you accept it by ticking that little tick mark on the side. Okay. So now you actually see the little red dot. Okay. So, but be careful when you do that, because it puts it where, not necessarily where your blue mark was, it's where that crosshair was. So if I actually went down here, I could go put another marker down there, even though I'm not there right now. So if I went and picked this again, I would be putting the next little marker down there. So just be careful with that. Okay, I'm back just on the main screen when you've signed in. So this is me. I've signed in under my email. The reason I wanted to show you this screen is this is the screen that's got download history. So if you have downloaded a few maps before a trip or whenever, and you've maybe done it on your computer, which is easier because you've got a big screen, you can see the maps better. If you've done it on your computer, the next time you come on your phone, you actually just click on download history, and it will actually go find all the maps that you've recently downloaded. So here's some that I had done that I haven't downloaded yet to the phone, but I've actually gone to the Avenza map store and got them from the Pacific Rim National Park. So if I want them, I can download them. Okay, so there's that. It's under downloads. Now let me take you back a step. Now, where are my maps? So if I go down to the bottom of my screen, they're under my maps. I have sorted my maps. Up at the top here, there's a selection. I've sorted them by distance. So the phone knows where I am right now. So it's telling me I'm on actually 3 maps that I have on my phone. I'm on the Williams Beach map that we're using right now. Hit my little locator button, there I am. Okay, I could go back. That's a Horse Council map. I could go back, and I'm also on this one. So I'm going to click on this one. Here comes up some crazy map. Hit my locator button, and there I am. Right? So it'll find me on any maps that I'm on the, here's another one, and bingo, there I am. So you can be on more than one map at a time. Okay, so the next step to show you is what happens if I want to make a track. So on this map in particular, there is no tracks. So maybe I want to make a track. So if I want to make my own track, I go to the button to the far right there. And if you see the second one, it says record GPS tracks. So I'm going to click that. Okay, it wants to access your location data. That's fine. I'm going to allow that. Okay, and it's asking me if I want it all the time. This is an Android. So I'm going to say allow all the time. That's fine. And I think I should be able to go back. Okay, now let me go back in there again. Because it should have, okay, there we go. So that's the screen you're going to see. It's going to say it's ready to track. Now, the biggest mistake you're going to make now is you're going to forget to press this button down at the bottom, this big green one that says start tracking. So you say start tracking, and it's doing its thing. You can swipe this away now so you don't really see it, but see down at the bottom, it still says tracking. So then I basically merrily start walking. I'm going away now. Here I go, and I'm making a track. So I'm going to go for a bit, and then we'll do another picture to see my track in a second. As you can see from this trail, it looks like I've come to the end of it. So I'm going to stop this particular track. So I'll show you how you do that now. So I'm going to swipe the tracking back up. There we go. And I'm going to put stop. Okay, I only went point whatever of a kilometer, and you can barely see it. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can see it. Okay, so you see that little dinky orange line? That's the track I just made. Okay, so, but it's there. Now, and if I want to see how it's represented and maybe name it, tracks are considered to be layers. So if you look on the phone, there's a thing that looks like a stacked bunch of piece of paper. Click on that, and that's your layers. Right? So right now it's saying I've got 3 layers that are active, and I click in there, and I look at the one that I've just done. So here it, I'm looking for today's date. Here it is here, track 2. I can click on it, tells me there it is, how many meters it is when I did it. Okay, and I clicked on it again, and now I can name it, right? I can click on it, get rid of that name, and call it bombed track, because we didn't get anywhere. Okay, and that's fine. You can change the style, you can change the color, all that kind of good stuff. So there you go. So I've got, and then I tick it down at the very bottom to see where your keyboard is. And there we go. And now it's also, now it is called bombed track. Okay, so that's how you do tracking if you want to do that. You don't have to do tracks if you've got a map that's already got tracking, a GPS track map like Horse Council has published. You can just follow along, follow your little blue dot, you'll know where you are. Okay. So we're going to give you a little more information about your maps and sometimes what can happen when you're on your map. So I'm going to go into my map, and I can do my locator button. There I am. I'm going to zoom in. Now let me just show you something. You'll notice right now I've got the name of my map at the top, and I've got my, I'm going to call it a menu bar at the bottom. But sometimes those disappear on you and you can't figure out why. Like that. So now if you look at my phone, it's gone. And you're panicked and you're like, where did my menu go? So actually all you have to do is click it a single time again. Nice short little click and those two will come back. Okay, another thing I want to cover is if you look down at the bottom, and in the other video I mentioned lat long, that's the default right now that's displayed. You may end up in a discussion with somebody about that. If you click there, there is a whole ton of different ways you can do lat long. This is the default that I've used at the top. I would recommend using that. We just looked up on the internet what search and rescue uses. They actually use something different, but search and rescue guys are professionally trained, and don't worry, they'll find you if you give them those coordinates. So that's how you get your lat long. Oh, the other thing we were going to look at was settings of accuracy of your map. So it's a good idea to check what your settings are on your phone. They're different between an Android and an iPhone. So in mine, I have to go out of my map. So hit my back button. And then if you can see the 3 dots beside all my maps, I'm going to go into that 3 dots. And you can see here, no, I'm wrong. My maps is settings. No, I'm wrong. Let me go back a step.
So you want the top 3 dots.
I want the top 3 dots. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's up by my name. Sorry about that. Top 3 dots. And on an Android, I go to settings. Okay, so what's important about these is if you look down here, go to the one, units of measure, you'll find out is probably in kilometers. Go to the one that says GPS. Okay. And then here, go have a look down a little bit on where it talks about horizontal accuracy, distance, and time. So I've reduced these. You can see you can do 8 meters, 16, and I think the default is 32. And there's a lot of difference between accuracy between 32 meters and 8 meters. And so what that means is when you're going along on your map, your lat long and your position on your map may not be as accurate because it's saying, I don't care about anything unless it's 32 meters or more. So you might want to change that. And then I've put down that it's going to record what's happened every 2 meters and it's going to record it every 5 seconds. Now we found in here, there's 2 and 30. I think the default was 30 seconds. This is a custom. I could set a custom, but we just found on the iPhone that getting the custom was a little bit harder. Is that right, Bonnie?
Yeah, it sure was.
So anyways, but have a look in there and pick what you want. Again, think about this in that if you have it set to a shorter period of time, that's going to eat up a little bit more battery. Okay, so the only other thing that we wanted to cover was sharing a map. So
I think I just lost your phone. There you go.
okay, so let's say I want to share a map, this one that I'm on in, it's a Backroads map book. If I go to the 3 stars, it go to share. Okay, and then I can pick whatever. I can send it by a message, I can send it how by email, whatever. If I send it by email, we just tested that, and what happened was I got the email from Bonnie, and it actually linked me right to the Avenza map store, to the map. And in that particular one, it was a pay map. So all I had to do was click on buy, I think. I think you're ready to purchase it, right? So remember, if you purchase it on the computer, right, then you find it in your download history later and you can get it. But that's how you share maps between each other if you're not working on the same map. Okay, I think that's all there is for this one.